Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host to the Grilling to Get Away podcast. Welcome back. This week's episode, we're talking about grilling and smoking fish up here in Wisconsin, especially during the Lenten season. If you celebrate and do that, fish fries are huge up here, and then also during the spring, summer, fall months, fishing as a sport is pretty big. So we like to bust out the grills and the smokers and throw some of those fresh caught fish on there. This week we're talking a couple different methods on how you can do that on your grills and smokers, and we'll be discussing kind of primarily some recent fish cooks that we've done. So hopefully you're finding some value in the conversations that we're having. If you are, please continue to like and subscribe and share with your friends and your family, so we can continue to spread the word about barbecuing and grilling and reach new audiences. So without any further ado, welcome to the next episode, Fish. Oftentimes, life is demanding, stressful, and just won't stop. When needing to take a break, we like to light up the charcoal and crack open a cold one. The Grilling to Get Away podcast is an ongoing conversation about all things barbecue and grilling, from our backyard to yours. So if you sometimes don't know what the heck you're doing, if you like to learn, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, you're in the right spot. Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host to the Grilling to Get Away podcast, and I'm here with my buddy
Ben. We're back again, Greg.
Ben, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
How you been?
Good. It's always good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
I always look forward to these, I'll be honest.
Good. Yeah, me too. We got some a new topic for us today. We're going to be talking fish.
Fish.
Yeah. So before we jump into that, Ben, what are we drinking tonight?
Ooh, we got back to the PBRs.
PBR Tall Boys.
Oh, yeah. Pabst Blue Ribbons.
Always welcome in my house.
Yeah. Anything free is welcome here, Greg.
Yeah. Anything that is free. Free $99.
$3.
All right, here we go. Crack them open, buddy.
Sound every time.
Sound, smell, and taste. All right, man.
It felt right, talking about fish and drinking PBRs.
Fish, PBRs, Wisconsin kind of all go hand in hand.
Just when you're out fishing, it's a great beer to drink.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Thanks for bringing them over. All right, man. Well, before we jump into the fish piece, did you throw anything on the grill or smoker this past week?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was actually raining, pouring last night, and
it's been kind of terrible around here.
Yeah,
kind of depressing, but
what are you gonna do? It's spring Wisconsin.
Yeah, right.
So again, we I wanted to really kind of hone in on how you and I own up to. We grill all year long.
We do, yeah.
We're not shy of it and stuff. So
sleet, rain,
so
wind.
it's like, you know what? I did. I pulled out the grill, and I'd taken out some fish actually earlier in the day. So I knew we were going to be talking about fish. I mentioned it. So my wife had actually said, we should do fish soon, which is weird because she's not a huge fish person. So I was all about it, and then she's like, "Oh, you're gonna do them tonight?" Yeah, it's for the podcast.
It's for the business.
It's raining out. It's a good night to grill some fish.
It sure is.
So,
so you did that. We'll talk about that. I think.
Yeah, we'll dive into it. Yeah. But you broke it out too, didn't you?
Yeah. Don't change the subject to me just yet because I have a question for you.
All right, here we go. Teeing me up here, huh?
Yeah. A few episodes back, you were really excited about doing this rump roast.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I don't think we ever talked about it. So I want to know, how did the rump roast go?
Man, I was so pumped. It was up there. It went really well. It was a nice long cook. I think I'd been over here earlier that day. We did a podcast and recorded, and then I left and got the grill going.
Yeah.
And just let it ride. And I threw in
how big was the roast?
It was about just less than 5 pounds. Okay. It was one of the ones that we got from the cow. Yeah, so not huge. Yeah, 3 to 5 pounds.
Sure.
But yeah, nothing honestly, Greg, I decided this time around so I took it out, had plenty of time, prepped it well. I injected it I did a little melted butter and ground pounder in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Threw in just a touch of like beef broth kind of in the bottom, just so it'd stay, kind of cook around. I did it in a pan and a tin pan the entire time. And then after about like 3 hours, I threw in some onions, and then after about 4, I threw in green peppers.
Okay.
So.
And it turned out real well for you.
Yeah, I was pumped. I'll be honest. Like, yeah, we'll post pictures of it out there. It was a good cook, man. It was it was beautiful outside that day.
Yeah.
So it was easy to drink a few beers and stuff. And first I had to go pick up the kids from school, but then after that, like I said, it kept them outside, and that's
got after it. Huh?
That's when I had some beers, and just enjoyed it. Like it was right after we got back from the trip too, so I hadn't grilled for a week, and did the chicken the day before and did the rump roast that day too. Okay. So it was
well, good. I'm glad it turned out well for you.
Thank you. I did baked potatoes with it too. Man, it was.
You were just crushing it.
I was in
day.
it. Yeah. I was just in the like you said last week, just kind of in the zone. Felt good. Yeah, so I was pretty proud of that one.
Good. Yeah. Well, I think maybe one time we'll do a whole episode based off of kind of that type of roast, which would be good.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Good. No, well, I'm glad it worked out for you on a scale 1 to 10. 10 being like phenomenal, 1 being like this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Where would you put it?
Definitely not a 1. I'd say it was like a 7.58.
Okay. 7.58.
I was pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
solid.
We always have room to improve.
Yep.
But no, definitely passing grade for high school, so we'll take that all day.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad it turned out well for you. Everybody enjoyed it. And I did the beer can chicken. I had the opportunity to get out there and smoke it up a little bit, and I used some of our hometown Miller Lite as the beer and the beer can holder, and then I just seasoned it with some of our Memphis style rub.
Nice.
Smoked it with some cherry wood, and turned out really good. Real moist, real juicy. One of the better ones that I've done.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was pleased with how that turned out.
Why was it better? What did you do different? You feel like this time that you haven't done in the past?
I like the rub. The rub that we have. Yeah. The Memphis style.
It's on chicken.
On chicken, on poultry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So I enjoyed it. It was the first time using that rub for that type of cook. So yeah, it was real good.
Did you spritz it all throughout?
I did not. No, I had the beer was in there flowing, so it was nice and juicy and moist. So I didn't need to really add any additional moisture to it.
About how long did you cook it for?
That one was real fast. It was a fast cook. I think it was probably about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice, got it up to temp real nice, and it wasn't a big bird. It was probably like a 3 or 4 pounder.
Okay.
And got up to temp real soon. So not right after, but real soon after, and it was a good cook.
Nice.
Yep. So it wasn't a long smoke. It was a nice, easy few hour prep and smoke session, just ready for dinner.
It's nice. Sometimes those are needed too, aren't they?
Yeah, anytime I can fire up the grill and put a quick, nice, delicious meal together, it's always good.
It's a win, huh?
It is a win. It is a win. All right, man. Well, let's jump into this fish.
Yeah.
Interested to hear more about yours, but I guess, as an overview of fish, of things that we've done in the past, what are some of the types of fish that you've smoked or grilled before?
Yeah, so my wife and kids they're not big fish lovers.
Yeah.
They're not big into like that fishy taste.
Sure.
So it makes it kind of tough when you're choosing fish.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done tilapia, I've done cod, and halibut.
Okay.
So those are pretty much the 3 that I kind of stick to. More whitefish.
Yeah.
It's not overly powering.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of cut some of it with lemon or
right.
seasonings and stuff like that. So those are typical kind of my go-tos. I'll be honest. So
yeah, same. I've done a lot of tilapia in the past, and then I've done some smoked salmon, done some trout. It's been a while since I've done that though, and then. Some of the halibut that you brought me back from Alaska, did that. But yeah, so there's other types of fish that are out there. You got your walleye, some of those other sunfish.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll
perch.
probably...
My dad's done quite a bit of perch.
Yeah.
Like he'll catch like ice fishing and stuff like that. So I've done that kind of with him, but not can't really own it for myself.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, there's a lot of types out there. There's a lot of different ways to do them as well. We'll focus probably on a few different types that we do and have done. What are some of the key equipment that you have when you're doing fish?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's already been, filleted and deboned and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, not taking care of that on the front end, so just basically ready to go and ready to cook.
Sure.
Typically in the past I've used the cedar planks, and this time around though, this is the first time I've done it. I did it in the cast iron, and I've never done that before. So I loved it. It turned out awesome. I'm still a big fan of the cedar planks. Yeah. I really want to try kind of where you wrap, the grates in the foil. I've never done that. Mm-hmm. So in the past, man, like I said, this was, the first time I've really done it, in the cast iron, but and I've always done it just with the cedar planks, just because we kind of had them and made sense. And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, we'll use these. So
like some of the key tools that you got your cedar planks, if you're using them, some tin foil, maybe a good spatula. Yeah. Flipper.
Yeah, definitely some oil, making sure that, it's not sticking.
Right. That's
obviously you don't need that on the cedar planks, but if you're going to put it right on the grates and stuff like that, well clean grates and oiled, and,
you don't want it sticking to you're just going to ruin it.
You lose half your fish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. So what was the one that you cooked up this time?
So I did a halibut. They were bigger halibut steaks.
Okay. And how'd you prep them?
So I kind of went a different route on this than I typically would have, I guess. I don't really know why, Greg. It's one of those things you kind of don't question, just kind of feel at the time and just let it
go with your gut.
Yeah, you let it ride. See
what happens. Yeah.
So, I'm kind of looking to see what we had, and I used some sesame oil and rubbed it down with some of that, and then soy sauce, and then I put just a touch of pepper on there. I hit it with our ground pounder, garlic, all-purpose garlic seasoning. And some sesame seeds. So I let that kind of sit for about 2 hours. Yeah. And then I got the grill going. I used the hardwood this time around. It's like oak and birch mix. Okay. The hardwood that we got, and got it real nice and hot. Grill was up above about 400, and I dumped the coals out, and right away I put the cast iron right on there. Okay. So got that nice and hot. Dropped a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in there, and then added a little bit more of the sesame oil right in there too, and just kind of a touch more of the soy sauce, just kind of in the pan. Yeah. The soy sauce tended to kind of get real hot and kind of not burn, but just I didn't want to do a whole lot of that. Kind of wanted to stick to a little bit more of the oil in there. So put the fish in, and I did it 3 minutes the first time. Went out, flipped it, and then the second time I set a timer for 4. I was kind of doing something else, so I kind of missed it for a little bit. So it was between 4 and 5 is when I went out and kind of checked it again. And that time,
real fast. Yeah, like not too much time in between.
Not too much. Nice, hot. It was again having the cast iron really helped. Sure. Keeping it real hot. So, and yeah, just I took a butter knife, just kind of pulled it. Could tell it was flaky. I didn't check the temp and stuff, and brought it in. Kind of let it sit in the cast iron for another minute or two. So obviously continue to cook just a little bit, and then put it on a plate, man.
Did you let it rest before you jumped in there, or what happened?
Well, yeah, I took it. So I took it off. I took it off the grill, still in the cast iron, and I put it on just on the countertop on some pads, some heating pads.
Yeah, so you don't burn the counter.
Don't do that. Never make that mistake again, Greg.
No, geez.
I'm just kidding.
That's a story for another time.
That's never happened. No. So yeah, kind of I let it sit in the cast iron, just for another minute or two, like I said, and then put it on a couple of plates and stuff, and then
did you top it with anything? Did you drizzle it with anything?
No, just kept it just like that. So I take that back. I used some green onions, just some couple of green onions, and just right on top, but that was it. So kind of had a little bit of an Asian flair to it.
Yeah, it sounds like with the sesame oil and the seeds and stuff,
and the soy sauce and green onions. It was honestly, man, it was good. It was a big hit. My wife loved it. Even the kids.
The kids ate it up.
Yeah, my son, who's 5. Not a huge fish fan. If he's eating fish, it's
Right.
fish sticks from school.
Yeah.
So I know he crushed it. He crushed like half a piece. He's like, that's pretty good. So
yeah, when I did the halibut that you gave me as well, I used the cast iron too. The cast iron is like a savior.
Yeah.
It's real nice. I didn't have as much time to prepare it. Like, it was one of those things, like, I wanted to try it out and I wanted to test a few different things. So I seasoned it with, some salt, some pepper, and then some of our First Strike Fish and Wild Game seasoning, which has a little bit of hint of lemon to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And, I threw that on the cast iron, heated up real nice. Again, like the fish, it doesn't take long to get it done.
Yeah, if you got the grill hot enough,
right.
man, it's fast. It's
a few minutes, if you're flipping it a few minutes per side, get a nice crisp, on all sides. So, it turned out real well. And then I topped it with, I made some kind of homemade slaw.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I was kind of going for a little bit of that Asian stuff too, but this wasn't like, it was a broccoli and like a cabbage slaw, lightly vinegar based too.
Nice.
But it turned out well. I enjoyed it. Looked real good too.
Yeah. Attaboy. Yeah. No, honestly, man, it was it's one of those things. It was good to get the grill going. It was raining. Nice, quick cook, but still got to fire it up and get out there a bit and play around with it. So trying something new. Yeah,
well, that's good. I'm glad. Would you do anything different with this one?
If I did it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would. I'd probably try and season it different. Not. I'm a big fan of lemon with fish too.
Yeah.
And so I'd probably, I'd probably try and squeeze probably half of a lemon out in the pan too with it, and throw just kind of a couple of chunks of lemon, or maybe the other half of the lemon and like an orange in there too, kind of give it a citrus flavor. Like I said, I'm not. I don't know why. Like, I chose to do like that combination. Just kind of saw it. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Let's try this. So I honestly, I didn't see it in like a cookbook or anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things we had. I was like, oh, it's gotta be good, right?
Yeah.
Give it a go. But no, I would, that's kind of, I think next time if I did it, I'm pretty excited about like doing the cast iron. Like you said, it's kind of your savior and stuff. And I don't use the cast iron as much as I should.
Sure.
So yeah, I think next time I would use the cast iron again, but definitely throw like use First Strike, and then throw in some lemons and maybe like an orange in there or something.
Okay, so nice citrusy type of flavor.
Yeah, summery, right? Yeah, nice and light.
Yeah.
So,
well, good, man. Well, I'm glad that turned out well for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Tell me about this, like kind of some of your cooks. What have been like your best? Would you say like your best fish cooks that you've had?
Yeah, I start off doing like these tinfoil type of steam packets.
Yeah,
when I first started getting grilling, real simple. Where I'd take maybe some of that tilapia, I'd throw it in like a tinfoil pouch with some vegetables, like maybe some small potatoes and stuff, and I'd throw those on the grill for a while, let it all kind of cook and moisture up a little bit. So and those turned out really good. I really enjoyed doing those. It's been a while since I've done those. But.
Yeah. So Greg, real quick, when you're doing those, are you kind of tell me about like the whole process, right? Are you tenting the tin foil, or just kind of folding it up almost like you're packing a sandwich in there?
Yeah. So it was where I had like, let's say I had like 4 of those small potatoes.
Sure.
I put them down on top of the tin foil, and then I put the fish on top of it.
Okay.
Then I'd season it, and then I'd kind of wrap it up, right? So you're creating kind of this pouch with like the potatoes as the base.
Okay.
So that's how I do it. You'd tent it up just a little bit so it's not touching the fish or anything like that, so it gets a chance to bake while it's inside that.
Yeah, that's tricky too, because those potatoes will take a little bit longer to cook.
They
than,
do,
like, the fish might.
They do. And maybe it was wedges. It's been a while.
But still, that's pretty.
Yeah, so
that's a process.
It is a process, but they usually turned out real well.
Nice. Okay.
Again, like the fish isn't going to dry out because it's inside there.
Yep.
And maybe, if I remember correctly, I put just a little bit of water in there too.
Sure, smart.
To steam it up a little bit. But that's how I started, doing fish on the grill. But then I think one of my most favorite ones is doing like salmon.
Yeah.
Like salmon's big, at least around here. And I know it's pretty popular across the country too. One recipe I put out there on the website is our rum soaked salmon recipe. So you're essentially taking your salmon fillet and you are covering it with some rum,
little rum for the fish, a little
shot
something
for
you.
the fish, shot for the fisher.
It's
You know
like,
what I mean?
You're like a pirate. Right?
Yeah. And then you put some brown sugar in there, so it's almost like a sweet. It's a sweet candy like marinades.
Using like a spiced rum, almost like Captain Morgan's kind of.
Yep. Or bottom shelf.
Had a boy, admirals, huh?
Yeah.
The good old admiral.
Yeah. So when you're doing that, then you're letting that sit in there for like 4 hours. Like you're putting that in the refrigerator. You're letting it soak up all those nice juices. And once you're done with that, once the 4 hours is up, you're pretty much taking it out of that pan or that dish. You're blotting it off with some paper towels and getting it dry again. And then if you're doing any seasoning or anything like that, you can put additional stuff, maybe some more brown sugar if you want to. But that time it's pretty much done with what you're going to be doing with it, aside from putting it on the smoker. And then it's a real low and slow smoke.
Okay.
Indirect, or you're smoking it, yeah. Because really now, it doesn't take much, like to cook fish and salmon. So if you're doing a low and slow, like 225, it's still going to take maybe 20, 30 minutes, but, you don't have to watch it constantly, like if you're doing something at high heat. So then you just, whatever, wood you're using, again, like with something like this, I'm probably using a cherry wood.
Nice,
I want to get those flavors together with that rum. And then, about 20 minutes and... if you're doing it at 225, maybe it'll take a little bit longer. But really, you don't need a temperature check for it. You should be able to look at it, with salmon once it starts kind of breaking apart, or when you touch it and it's firm and it breaks into those flakes, you're kind of done.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to make sure you don't overcook it though.
Sure. So. Yeah. It's easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, that could be served warm kind of right off. Or you could wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and serve it cold. Yeah. Serve it as some sort of appetizer to a meal. Usually when you're eating those, you can eat it plain, or you could just put it on crackers. You could put on some cream cheese in a bagel.
Nice, a lot of options.
Yeah. So
what are you cooking it in, Greg? Are you doing the cast iron? Like kind of indirect that, or just right on the grates?
I'm putting it right on the grates.
Nice, okay.
If I have a big enough piece, right? If I have a big enough piece, I'm putting it right on the grates, making sure the grates are real clean, like we mentioned. Scrubbing them off. Putting some olive oil down there on it before I put down the flank there. Otherwise, I'll use the seeded planks too.
Nice, yeah. Do you soak those in water or beer?
For this, I'd probably do water.
Okay.
Like I don't want the beer and the rum to kind of come together at the same time. Right.
That's a rule.
Yeah. Beer before liquor. Never been sicker is what I've been told.
Been told or given it the shot, huh?
Yeah. I'll plead the fifth on that one.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's usually a crowd pleaser. Rum soaked, smoked salmon. And again, it's something simple to do. If you got some time, you can all mix that stuff together, put it in the fridge, do what you're doing, and then come back and then put it on the smoker and just make sure you're watching. So once it starts to flake, you don't have to hassle with like a temperature gauge or anything like that. Just keep an eye on it. Yeah. And when it looks like it's ready to flake off, or when you push on it and it flakes, take it off and either serve it right away or put it back in the fridge and, serve it later.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Any other fish that you've ever tried that you can think of right now?
Yeah, done, like I said, I've done, like a lot of cod. My wife will eat that and stuff. On the cedar planks, I have done that where I've soaked it in beer, soaked it in water. Both are great options. I thought, again, like you said, man, it depends on like how you're seasoning it.
Yeah.
So with, certain times I've definitely been happy to do the beer and stuff, and it's made more sense.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is just kind of with the fish. It's a little bit trickier. I'm not, and maybe you've tried this when you're doing fish and stuff. Are you using kind of your thermometer and stuff, checking the temp inside, or are you kind of going off of more feel, kind of touching it with like, the butter knife, or looking for it to be flaky or like opaque and stuff like that? What are you doing?
For me, like, it's I'm not really using a thermometer.
Yeah, okay.
It's more like look, touch, feel. And fish is, Obviously, you don't want to undercook it, but at the same time, like it's pretty easy to tell when it's done.
Yeah.
You don't need to have all this fancy stuff. And honestly, if you're using a thermometer, you're probably, unless you have a real big piece of,
real thick, maybe
right.
a whole fish or something.
Yeah, unless you're doing something like that, it really doesn't make sense, especially with these small pieces like for us when we're getting it from the grocery store or whatever. Doesn't make sense to do something like that. Now, that's a question I have for you. Have you thought about any other types of like fish or seafood that you haven't smoked yet, but you want to?
Seafood for sure, man. I think that's pretty open. But we'll stick to fish on this one. Maybe we do a whole episode just on seafood stuff. But
because there's like some real cool ones out there that we haven't done. Like I've seen people do swordfish.
Yeah,
I've seen people do like
tuna, big chunks of tuna and stuff. I'd want to try something like that.
Mahi.
Yeah, that too, man. I mean, it's being up here, kind of where we are. Like, it's you feel kind of limited, and again, like I don't want to go out and buy this expensive fish for my kid to put a bunch of ketchup on.
Yeah, right.
But there's kind of those ones. It'd be fun to do something like that. So, maybe a little bit thicker. The halibut fillets, their steaks are, they're still pretty thin. They're longer, but definitely still thin. So kind of that, like, that big, thick chunk of meat and stuff.
Tuna steaks or whatever.
Yeah. I'd like to, try something like that sometime. But for now, man, no, I enjoy the cod. I think there's a couple of different things I'd definitely like to try now that I've kind of tested the cast iron out. Like I said, throwing some oranges and lemons in there with it. Also like to kind of maybe try and do something similar to like a fish fry on there. Okay, where you're kind of cutting it into smaller pieces maybe, and kind of doing putting some oil in the pan, getting the grill real nice and hot. Yeah, using the pan and as kind of a tool again, and coating them in some breadcrumbs, or maybe try like Frosted Flakes. My brother-in-law fishes all the time.
Really?
He uses Frosted Flakes for kind of his. Okay. So it's his go-to. He says he loves it. So,
well, interesting.
Yeah, just a different style, which is cool. So he's a big ice fisher. So he's always got stories about it.
Oh yeah.
But no, like so my dad, he found this kind of Louisiana style breading to do it on, and that's got like a nice like kind of kick to it and stuff. So maybe something like that, like I said, try out like almost like kind of your fish fry, but like using the grill for it too. So get it real nice and hot, and just kind of a quick, probably keep the lid off. Yeah. And just kind of, I don't know, see what happens, man.
Backyard fish fry.
Yeah, right on the grill.
Right, yeah. It's prime season here in Wisconsin.
It's coming, yeah. It sure is, yeah.
All right, nice, man.
What about you? What would you say kind of your, if you're going to put it up on kind of a pedestal, what would be?
What would I want to do?
Yeah.
Man, now that we've been talking about it, like those tuna steaks, if we get some of those,
that would be cool. Yeah, we should definitely
like to do that. Probably soon, maybe over the summer.
Yeah,
it's probably a nice time to do it. Other than that, no, I think that's. I do like the idea of trying to do your own batter and frying the fish as well. The cast iron is a prime tool for that.
It sure is.
Yeah. But other than that, no, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Some big tuna steaks.
Yeah. Once you get them in your head, Greg, that's all I'm going to think about.
One track mind.
It's about average.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know there's so many different types of fish out there, and we could go on and on and on about the types of fish and how we do them and prepare them. But like if somebody was first starting out, let's say they're going to the grocery store, they're picking something up, fish, something that's available pretty much everywhere. What would be your tip or your suggestions for them? How to something you wish you would have known, or now that you wish you would have known back then.
Sure, man. I'll be honest. Like, I remember the first time I was really kind of trying to, figure out fish, right? Like, again, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was never been big into fish. So I think, the first fish I ever got was probably like a bag of like frozen tilapia. And
same here.
I think I tried to do it like in the oven.
Yeah, same here.
I think like half of it ended up getting tossed. Like it was just like not
good.
It didn't. Yeah, it was again trial and error, right? Like learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
But no, man, I would probably start with cod.
Yeah.
You know, you can. It's not overly expensive. It's just a good fish to kind of test things out on. You know, it's not overly fishy either.
Yeah.
So you can. It's just pretty versatile. You can kind of do a few different things. I feel like you're gonna get the most bang for your buck. That's kind of probably my recommendation.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say like the first time too, keep it simple. Just, you know, maybe try and go with some lemon, maybe a little butter, pepper, salt. Like, I mean, if you can find, you know, a good fish rub, you know, try it. You know, again, honestly, I wish we had First Strike back then because I would have used it. But that's, you know, those are my recommendations. Like, it's kind of something simple, but yeah. What about you?
Yeah, like if you're try, start with the cheap stuff. So get some tilapia, some frozen stuff. You usually get like 6 or 7 in a packet,
in a bag.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
individually packed and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. It's easy.
And you know, if you're gonna be doing them on the grill or the smoker, you know, it's if you're first starting out with that, I would say put some tinfoil down over the grates. Otherwise, you know, if you're not used to like, you know, something that's that small and slippery sometimes,
and it sticks
too.
Yeah,
you know, put some tinfoil down on the grates. You know, you're not gonna miss out on anything or anything like that, or use like the cast iron, something like that, just so you know you get used to the process first,
getting your temp right and stuff, kind of getting a feel for like when the fish is done, what it should look like. And I mean, again, I've overflipped them.
Yeah.
You know, I've flipped them like 4 times. Like I've done it.
And the more you flip them, then they break up and you're losing them.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah. So that's what I recommend. You know, start with some cheap stuff. You know, get your flavors down, get the process down, and then when you're ready to move up to the next level, get a nice cut or you know, a nice fresh piece, and then you can start looking at, you know, what's the best way to cook it on the equipment that you have. So
and then try new things, you know, and don't be scared to try it out. It's you know, you never know what you're gonna put together.
Yeah,
might be something it's just awesome.
Who knows? Maybe you know, beer and, you know, rum go together. With
have to give that a shot someday,
let me know,
Greg.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think that wraps it up with this. And I mean, I'm sure we'll come back to fish at some point.
Absolutely. Definitely seafood. Yeah. I think we've talked about doing like the crawfish boil at some point and stuff. Something, you know, something fun like that.
Something different, something fun. Yeah. All right, man. Well, what do you got coming up on the smoker this week?
So I've really been thinking about some burgers. Again, I don't feel like I use the cast iron enough, and like I said, breaking it out kind of, I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah. So I might give the smash burgers a try. Otherwise, you know, I'm not really sure. I'm leaning towards something I can do in the cast iron. Yeah, not sure what that is yet, but want to keep that one going. Good, man. Well, I love my cast iron. I got a few of them, and I highly recommend, if you don't have one, pick one up. Yeah. You can find them all over the place. There's good ones everywhere. Yep. So that you know, that's just another for about tool. Like $20. Yeah, I mean $20. So you can go larger too, and sure. You know, they start to get a little bit more expensive as you start going up in size. But definitely worth having in your arsenal when you're grilling and cooking. Mm-hmm. What about you? What do you what's on the menu? Well, we got you know, we have some spaghetti meal coming up here, and they want meatballs. So I'm thinking about smoking the meatballs. Okay. Yeah. So I've done it before. They usually turn out really well. But I got a new recipe I want to try out. And I'm probably going to be smoking them. Nice. Well, good luck. Thanks, man. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Always a good time. It's always a good time. Yeah. All right, man. Well, that wraps up this episode. Any last words for the audience here? No, like I said, don't be afraid to try new things. Definitely get out and grill, even if the weather sucks. It's you know, you can still find something that can be either kind of quick and just use an excuse to light it up. So that would be my my recommendation. So give it a run.
Good, man. Well, yeah, good ideas, good thoughts. Again, we appreciate everybody listening, wherever you listen to this podcast to. We just appreciate all those that continue to share and like and subscribe. Our reach continues to grow each episode, so that's because of you all, and we really appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the conversation like we are, and hopefully you're cracking a beer with us. But other than that, man, we'll talk to you all next week, and Ben, we'll talk next week.
Sounds good, man. Everyone take it easy. Thanks again.
All right, cheers.